The Stanford prison experiment was a psychological experiment conducted in August 1971 by a psychologist professor in Stanford University known as Philip Zimbardo. It was intended to measure the effect of role-playing, labeling, and social expectations on behavior over a period of 2 weeks. Participants were recruited from the local community with an ad in the newspapers offering $15 per day to male students who wanted to participate in a psychological study of prison life. Volunteers were chosen after assessments of psychological stability and then randomly assigned to being prisoners or prison guards. Prisoners were treated like every other criminal, being arrested at their own homes without warning and taken to the local police station. They were fingerprinted, photographed, and booked. Then they were blindfolded and driven to the psychology department of Stanford University, where Zimbardo had the basement set out as a prison, with barred doors and windows, bare walls, and small cells. Here the de-individuation process began. When the prisoners arrived at the prison, they were stripped naked, deloused, had all their personal possessions removed and locked away, and were given prison clothes and bedding. They were issued a uniform and referred to by their number only. 3 guards worked shifts of 8 hours each. The other guards remained on call. Guards were instructed to do whatever they thought was necessary to maintain law and order in the prison and to command the respect of the prisoners. No physical violence was permitted. Zimbardo observed the behavior of the prisoners and guards as a researcher and also acted as a prison warden. Within hours of beginning the experiment, some guards began to harass prisoners. At 2:30 a.m., prisoners were awakened from sleep by blasting whistles for the first of many counts. Push-ups were a common form of physical punishment imposed by the guards. One of the guards stepped on the prisoners' backs while they did push-ups, or made other prisoners sit on the backs of fellow prisoners doing their push-ups. During the second day of the experiment, the prisoners removed their stocking caps, ripped off their numbers, and barricaded themselves inside the cells by putting their beds against the door. The guards retaliated by using a fire extinguisher, which shot a stream of skin-chilling carbon dioxide, and they forced the prisoners away from the doors. Next, the guards broke into each cell, stripped the prisoners naked, and took the beds out. The ringleaders of the prisoner rebellion were placed into solitary confinement. After this, the guards generally began to harass and intimidate the prisoners. Zimbardo, in 1973, had intended that the experiment should run for 2 weeks, but on the 6th day, it was terminated due to the emotional breakdowns of prisoners and excessive aggression of the guards. Many criticized that this study was hugely unethical. Prisoners were kept in unsafe, unsanitary, and dehumanizing facilities. Several of them told guards they wanted to leave, but they were refused. The 3 men who were removed from the study were only allowed to when researchers thought they were too traumatized to safely continue. Nevertheless, according to Zimbardo and his colleagues, the Stanford prison experiment revealed how people will readily conform to the social roles they are expected to play, especially if the roles are as strongly stereotyped as those of the prison guards.